Hi, this is Pastor Greg, coming to you maybe not live, but alive. Alive with hope and anticipation of all the opportunities we have to be God's people in the world. This week's opportunity comes to us from the Gospel of Matthew, the 18th chapter, verses 15 through 20, where Jesus talks to us about justice. Now, Jesus' justice, probably won't surprise you, is quite a bit different than the justice that we might be used to, such as here in a courtroom in our own county. Jesus talks about justice and gives us 4 instructions on how to handle it when somebody wrongs us. And basically those instructions are these. Go directly to the person and have a conversation with them when it's just the two of you, with the goal of reconciliation. The second step, if that doesn't work, then bring somebody with you that might be a mediator, again with the goal of reconciliation. The third step, if those two things don't work, then talk about it with the people of God. Get the church involved, again with the goal of reconciliation. And if none of those work, Jesus says, then treat that person, the one who's offended you, as a Gentile and tax collector. Now, what does that mean? You remember that Jesus ate with the tax collectors and always welcomed them and the Gentiles. So again, with the idea of reconciliation. So justice. I want to tell you a little story about a follower of St. Francis. One of St. Francis of Assisi's followers had a little problem with gossiping. So as penance for gossiping, St. Francis instructed the man to lay a feather at the doorstep of every household in the town of Assisi that he had gossiped about. When the man returned to St. Francis and said that he had accomplished that task, St. Francis directed him, now go and pick up all of those feathers. I can't do that, the man said. The feathers by now have been blown by the wind all over town. St. Francis nodded his head and said, so it is with gossip. The words you say can never be picked up again. It is true. We've all offended. We've all been offended. And sometimes we humans look for justice. But the justice that Jesus instructs us to look for is always reconciliation. We can't always take back the words we say, but we can always look for forgiveness. We don't forget, but we can forgive. And the goal is always reconciliation. The goal in Jesus' instructions, and should be our goal too, whenever we are offended, that our relationship with another, when it's strained or bruised or broken, the goal is always to heal, restore, and renew that relationship. We, looking for justice the way Jesus instructs, are called not to hurt, not to insist on our own way, not even to get even. Relationships are too important. The goal is always reconciliation, following the instructions of Jesus. Thanks be to God.